All right, guys, this is another episode of the Happy Doc, and I'm going to get right into this one. So today I had the wonderful privilege of running in the rain outside. And, you might think that's strange, right? Running in the rain outside. I had a long day of work. I was exhausted. I was tired. And I really didn't feel like doing much, but my body was asking for some movement. I was cooped up all day. I just, was stuck in one place. My day of work was not that fun. I was doing things I didn't really enjoy. There are lots of parts of it that were very tedious and frustrating, but that's my job right now. There's certain parts of my job that I just have to do. I don't enjoy those parts of the job. It's just what I have to do, right? So I needed to get out. I needed to get outside, and I'm looking outside and it looks crummy. It looks terrible. It's raining. I have no actual desire from my, mental state to want to go outside, but something told me that I needed to do something good for myself. I needed to get my energy up. I needed to get my body moving. I needed to do something to just take care of myself by going outside. Being cooped up, I know is not good for me, and as soon as I go outside, I'm going to feel better. And I just have to tell you, it was an amazing run. I put on my sweats, I put on my raincoat, my rain jacket, got my shoes on, and I just started listening to good music. I went outside, I went for a jog, and I just moved. And I was so inspired by this run for so many reasons. But one of the things that I just, felt was like such a beautiful metaphor for life is that we need to follow our own path. We need to follow that intuition. We need to do things that are going to be energetic for us, and we need to take care of ourselves. And what I noticed on this run is I chose to do something that was important for me, right? It's raining outside, it's crummy, but I did this thing for me. And literally, there is no one outside. Obviously, I understand coronavirus is happening, but even after that, I was so empowered by the fact that I was able to take this run, take this path that no one was walking. I chose to do something, even though it was disgusting out. It was uncomfortable out. I chose to go out in this crummy weather. I chose to use my energy to do something good for myself. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of mental energy and motivation for me to decide, I'm going to do this anyways. And it was a beautiful run. It was like no one was literally there. No one was outside. No one was there with me. I was on this run by myself. I was on this track by myself. Now, where I live, there's a lot of nature. There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of greenery. There's a lot of plants. There's a lot of things to see. And as I'm on this run, it was just so enjoyable. I could spread my arms out. I could enjoy the air. I could breathe in that fresh oxygen. I was moving. And it was uncomfortable. It's wet. It was raining. Water was dripping into my face. My tennis shoes weren't that good, honestly, for rain. I slapped my feet into water. My feet were eventually soaked. I found a park. I started running around, and I just got that energy out. And it just reminded me of this very important fact, which is we are all on different tracks. We're all running different races. We have to choose and decide this track for ourselves. Whether there are people running the track or you're running your own race, you're running your own track, it doesn't matter. You have to choose what track you're going to be going on. Quite often, and I talk about this a lot in realms of creativity and the process of business building and the process of career paths and the process of life creation, choosing your own lifestyle, what's going to work for you. You have to run when it's crummy out. You have to move even if the conditions aren't perfect. You have to choose and make the decisions that are going to work for you to get you to that next step, to get you to that next level of what you need to do for your happiness, for your joy, for your ability to express what needs to express, for your ability to love your life. When I went on this run today, I had to do that for myself. The conditions sucked. I didn't want to go outside, but I knew I had to. And I overcame that internal discomfort to get on this track, to get into this motion that allowed me to really feel motivated, allowed me to really take that next step to get where I needed to go. Now I'm using this energy now that I had from this run to record this podcast, to give a message to anyone listening. If you're listening to this, the message is simple. Go inside, figure out what it is that your goals are, what your needs are, what you want to do to get to that next step for you. Whether that's just taking care of yourself and taking a moment to relax, or maybe you need to push yourself, give yourself that energy to go out there and exercise, go out there and move. Whether that means that you need to start working on that writing project, whether it means you start playing around with a little bit of poetry, writing some music, playing an instrument that you enjoy. Whatever it is that gets you lit up, do it. Choose now to serve yourself. And by serving yourself, by giving yourself that opportunity to be happy, by giving yourself that opportunity to do what you need to do, you're giving other individuals the opportunity to do that for themselves. By filling your cup, by giving yourself that energy, you give energy to others. You become that independent source. You become that wellspring of energy that then you can provide back to other people. We need to reverse burnout, and we need to lift ourselves up, become energetic, become the happy person we deserve to be, become full of joy inside of ourselves so we can give at our highest levels. So if it requires you to run in the rain, to do things in a condition that doesn't look on the outside as optimal, if you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions to get where you need to go, do your path, do your track. You know, with coronavirus happening right now, with the epidemic as this is being recorded, it doesn't matter. You still need to put in the effort. You can't change those conditions around you that you can't control. You got to control yourself. You have to choose what it is that you want to get after. So I hope that inspired you as I'm speaking. Get that motion going, get that motivation going. I want you to strive for that best life, that happy life that you deserve, and continue to find that track that's going to work for you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. If you liked this episode of the Happy Doc podcast, please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. It's one of the best ways to support us. I'll see you on the next episode of the Happy Doc.